in just a moment. But first,
a man is dead after being stopped by police.
we do want to warn you. The footage you're about to see is graphic and has added new fuel to the national conversation and protests around the use of force.
Only the victim remains the victim, while the truth slips through the system. Yet the goodness never sees the light of day. So we fight for what is right, against injustice day and night. To achieve this goal, that's the only way. Somebody's colorful, someone is faceless, someone is powerful, somebody's tasteless. There's one, that one, another one. We all are beautiful. Let's face it. If you ask me my name, I'll tell you the same. Justice. We're looking for truth to save all of you. Justice. Stop the radical whip strike, which matters to every life. Then we'll see the end of all that is wrong.
All right. Here we are. It's another Friday afternoon, and you are watching the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality and joined my usual panel of suspects. And wow, that was loud in my ear. I'm sorry about that, guys. Mr. Hart Honer, Majesta Nelson, Justin DT, MJ MX, Jason Coffin, Harsh Man, as usual, and Scott Jr. How are y'all tonight, guys?
I gotta say, this is a fun show. This is gonna be fun, even though we know what the topics and headlines are, and it's gonna be the same usual yelling and nonsense. I think we're gonna have a good show tonight.
Yes, so I can see you already have a positive outlook on how tonight's gonna go. That's wonderful.
You know what? Less is more. So I'm hoping tonight.
Wow.
I'm hoping tonight that's gonna be the perfect edition of that. So.
Are you talking about arithmetic right now? You're trying to put people to sleep, Harsh?
You'll put people to sleep?
You want to put people to sleep while you don't.
If more people sleep,
already
people criticize us.
We just
Already
4
started.
minutes into the show and we just veered off track just immediately. That's wonderful.
Well,
It's fine.
I do have some headlines to
fine.
read tonight, so we are gonna have. It is gonna be interesting. It might be like it. We might have to go through last week's headlines again, but a respin on last week's headlines. But it is going to be a lot more interesting than people will recognize. So
Let's do it.
all right. Speaking of that, let's get into. All right, who wants to lead off headlines?
Well, I have a few.
All right, let's talk about insurance fraud. That's always a fun topic.
Oh, who burnt their house down now?
All right.
Who's
According to
committing
Florida
insurance-
International University News, the big reason Florida insurance companies are failing isn't just hurricane risk, it's fraud and lawsuits. Oh, boo fucking who. This article was republished from the conversation under a Creative Commons license written by Shahid S. Hamid. Wow, say that 20,000 times. Professor of Finance at Florida International University.
I just
I
want
heard
to
if
hear
you
you
say
say
that
that
name.
name 5 times.
Shahid S. Hamid. Shahid S. Hamid. Shahid S. Hamid. Shahid S. Hamid.
Okay. We get
I
it.
heard if you say that 10 times, Homeland Security shows up at your house.
Yeah.
Like Blood
At this,
Mary.
well, I mean, at this point, I'm sure half of the Florida insurance industry wants Homeland Security to show up at their house. At least they'll have some free governmental health care at that point. Anyhow, what's making it so hard for Florida insurers to survive? Florida insurance rates have almost doubled in the past 5 years, and insurance companies are losing money for 3 main reasons. One is the rising hurricane risk. Hurricanes Matthew, Irma, and Michael were all destructive, but a lot of Florida's hurricane damage is from water, which is covered by the National Flood Insurance Program, rather than by private property insurance. Okay, so basically these idiots don't know how to classify anything. That's a good one. And another reason is that reinsurance pricing is going up. That's insurance for insurance companies to help when claims spike. But the biggest single reason is the assignment of benefits problem involving contractors after a storm. It's partly fraud and partly taking advantage of loose regulation and court decisions that have affected insurance companies. It generally looks like this. Contractors will knock on doors and say they can get the new homeowner a new roof. They can get the homeowner a new roof. The cost of a new roof is maybe $20,000, $30,000. So the contractor inspects the roof. Often,
Well, that's story, bro.
Isn't much of damage. There really isn't that much damage. The contractor promises to take care of everything, and the homeowner assigns the insurance benefit. The contractors can then claim whatever they want from the insurance company without needing the homeowner's consent. If the insurance company determines that the damage wasn't actually covered, the contractor sues. So insurance companies are stuck with either fighting the lawsuit or settling. Either way, it's costly. Other lawsuits may involve homeowners who don't have flood insurance. Only 14% of Florida homeowners pay for flood insurance, which is mostly available through the Federal National Flood Insurance Program. Some without flood insurance will file damage claims with their property insurance company, arguing that wind caused the problem. How widespread of a problem are these? Yeah, let me share the screen here. God damn it. Okay, anyway, overall, the numbers are pretty striking. About 9% of homeowner property claims nationwide are filed in Florida, yet 79% of the lawsuits related to property claims are filed there. The legal cost in 2019 was over $3 billion for insurance companies fighting these lawsuits, and that's all going to be passed on to homeowners at higher costs. The insurance companies had more than $1 billion underwriting loss in 2020 and again 2021. Even with premiums going up so much, they're still losing money because of this. And that's part of the reason so many companies are deciding to leave. Okay, well, okay. So basically, all right. So basically, from what I'm getting from the article is that people, even insurance companies, are as fucked up as the rest of the state of Florida. So, is that the same gist you're getting, Scott? Because it feels like these guys don't know what they're doing down there. Hello there.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, they don't. No insurance companies in the history of any natural disaster actually follows their own protocols. I have never seen it happen yet. I mean, it's the government actually shores up the flood damages. So why are the insurance companies having so many problems? It doesn't make any sense.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me if insurance companies are trying to get one over on everyone else by pretending to, suffer losses and claim fraud or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the insurance companies are infamous for trying to find fraud in any way, shape, or form. I mean, every time there was a hurricane here, almost every insurer, every homeowner's insurance companies that exist, they always go bankrupt. If these things are stipulated by the federal government, why are they going bankrupt?
Something's telling me the overage isn't spent in the most honest ways.
It never is. I mean, that's I mean, somebody lines their pockets, and then the people that own their homes are left holding the bag, basically.
Or just really good accounting, whichever one.
And I've seen it time and time again. They'll find any little reason not to pay a claim.
Right. Absolutely, and I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon.
You would be better off putting your money in a high interest yield bank account and never touching it as opposed to paying insurance. Because then you know you would actually get your money back.
Nope.
Well, what
I
if
agree
something
with that.
actually? But what if something actually blows up and you're not in Florida? I mean,
Well, why would they be? Why would something blow up and you're not in? I don't understand your question.
well,
sir.
you know, if like Scott is doing a show and he's got 20 computers lined up, and then everything overheats in his house and it just blows, and the whole studio blows up, then you're gonna.
No, I'm sorry, sir. I'm an electrical engineer by trade. I know how to wire things to keep it from melting down.
Yeah, I think you're getting him mixed up for Mike Rainey.
Yeah,
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. I forgot.
Hey, Mike, if you're listening, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, please shut up.
Shut up, Mike.
Meg, you can shut up too.
This has been another edition of the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality. Mind you, so shut the fuck up, Mike Rainey. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.
Shut the
I
fuck
was
up, Mike
screaming
Rainey.
it at my phone and realized I
And
was
shut
on
the
mute.
fuck up, Mike Rainey, and you have a wonderful rest of the week.
Take your fucking Advil and shut the fuck up.
Brian Parker says, seeing plenty of fake headlines at Florida this week. Agreed.
I mean, it's Florida.
Wait, what type of fake headlines? Because to be honest with you, I really haven't been paying attention to much of the Florida news.
Mike had another heart attack.
I mean, for the simple fact that we literally had a Category 4 storm go straight up our fucking assholes last year, and nobody really gave a shit after they found out that New Orleans was okay.
Yep.
So why the fuck would I give a good goddamn about Florida? I'm just asking. It's an honest question. I mean,
yeah, no, I don't know.
I actually heard the pain in Scott's voice when he said
there was no pain in my voice. It's just the point behind it, sir.
I actually heard some pain and sorrow in that voice. Like, why don't they care about us? Damn it!
No, it's not that. It was like, oh well, the hurricane didn't hit New Orleans, so Louisiana's fine. There's an entire state surrounding that shithole of a city, right?
Yeah, I mean, I will say they've done a pretty terrible job covering the state of Louisiana when it comes to hurricanes, or even the aftermath of Katrina in New Orleans. It's like they just thought after the Saints started winning a bunch of football games, oh no, the city recovered, it's fine, when really people are still suffering from it. So
there's literally a guy. Well, I think they finally tore the building down, but there was a worker that got crushed at the Hard Rock Hotel that they were building in downtown New Orleans. And literally, because the building was unstable and they couldn't do anything about it, literally stayed hanging out the side of the building for 2 years. Like you could see his legs from the street.
What?
I remember hearing about that story.
Yes,
but I didn't know like
finally were able to tear that building down all the way.
How did he even survive? How long did he?
Didn't.
I don't think
he didn't. He got crushed, and his legs were sticking out the side of the building, and they stayed there for 2 years.
Oh, that's terrible.
God, man, that's horrible.
Yeah, I
Is
remember.
he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He drank some milk.
Was he able to walk away from that?
We gave him some milk.
See, Justin, the thing is, when you're dead, you don't have to worry about anything, so you're okay.
It's true. You don't have to worry about insurance fraud.
You don't have to worry about insurance fraud in Florida.
Exactly.
Or hurricanes.
Or hurricanes, yeah.
Hurricanes.
That being said, I mean, I have noticed that I remember hearing the on Ruby Garcia's page, like some educator / activist. She has her own page on social media. She was talking a lot about like the corruption of New Orleans because of that incident for weeks at a time. It was just weird to seeing that, how a major city can have something like that hanging out. Yeah, a dead body apparently.
I mean,
2 legs literally hanging out the side of the building.
You watch the wind just come blow it, and his legs are just dangling there. It looks like he's just taking them off the curb or so. Man, I would definitely go and take a picture of it.
Why not? Why wouldn't you
No,
take
Beth,
like a video?
what I'm saying is that they're steadily talking about Florida. They're steadily talking about Florida, and the last hurricane we had damn near demolished entire cities, and nobody gave a shit. Just because New Orleans was okay, nobody else cared. So I'm not going to give a shit about Florida either.
Right. All right, that is true. But to be fair, but in all fairness, some of us contribute to that when we always make jokes about Florida being a train wreck of a state, and then create headlines about it. So I mean,
it is.
You can either pay attention to what you want to talk about, or like keep making jokes about something you don't. It's kind of like a double-edged sword.
These people had an entire news article about some jackass in Florida losing a $2.9 million brand new McLaren P1 because it got flooded in the floodwaters. Okay, you're a fucking retard. Nobody gives a shit about your $2.9 million car, jackass.
Yeah.
That's true.
He knew the fucking hurricane was coming too and decided to stay with that fucking car. So, I would have been out that bitch.
I have, no, I'm not going to say anything else about it.
Well, I'm just going to say, like, if we want to focus on issues that matter, then we should just cover headlines that matter more than, like, that's all I'd say, instead of just saying, oh, well, this state's full of retards, let's make fun of them for the 1 million.
No, it's not.
That's literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Is that he had a $2.9 million McLaren? And
it is dumb.
I'm not saying they're all like that. I mean,
right?
They kind of proved that themselves, but I'm not going to say it. That's why it's the Florida man meme is a thing for a reason. Like that shit's
I don't know. I just feel like you can't be that close to Arkansas and think you're cool.
No,
God, let's not get started on Arkansas.
It's like that on a local level sometimes. The local news is just going to continue reporting national news and not what's going on locally. And
they don't give a shit.
Well, no, I mean, Beth is saying that it also happened just days ago, and she hasn't hardly heard shit about it, and she lives in Florida. It's like that here too, but it's on national news too. So I mean, we're getting news about it. The local stations do the same shit here. They start reporting national news, and they really don't talk much about the hurricane stuff.
Right. Well, that's because even local news has to follow what the national news tells them to do, or the handlers.
Yep.
I mean, I remember one time watching.
If they have a parent station, that's how it works. Like, I mean,
right. Yeah. I'm saying this is like every local news station. Like, I remember one time there was a news segment talking about how like every news station says the same phrase on point about the dumbest articles.
If they're a national headline and I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of them are just guilty of reading straight off the AP websites. And so if they report that one article and another news station does the exact same thing, they're going to repeat it word for word on point.
It's MK Ultra.
Yep.
That is fun.
MK Ultra, really? People reading from a screen.
Well, I mean, it's all. I mean, they're not allowed to say anything fresh. They have to go by the script, right? So.
Yeah.
And a lot of, and I mean, not to dive too much into it, a lot of people are NPCs. Like, they're not allowed to even be their own people. They're like programmed a certain way. I don't know why that's the case.
That says. It's like that everywhere, though. It wasn't just your disaster in Louisiana that didn't get enough help. It's all of them. That's all I'm saying. And you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. Nobody gets the help they need after a natural disaster, and it doesn't matter what natural disaster it is.
Yep.
Whole bunch of virtue signaling and money siphoning happens. So that's what happens.
There's been countless times there's been storms here, and the National Guard comes and they hand out stuff you actually need, like bottled water and MREs and stuff like that. And one of the funniest things is they spent millions of dollars on blue tarps for roofs, and they didn't have enough people that actually needed them, so they just gave them to everybody who stopped at one of the depots. I still have blue tarps from storms that I've never used. It's like it's a money-making racket. All of it. And the Red Cross is probably the biggest crooks out of all of them. I wouldn't give them.
Yeah, that's so true. That's why I remember even during the hurricane, like even the, I don't know what was it called in 2017, Irma or Andrew in 2017. I would just tell people, donate to your local charities. Do not donate your blood to the Red Cross. Donate to your local hospitals or clinics. Don't donate to the Red Cross because that shit is terrible.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'll give you a prime example of how the Red Cross operates. Back in 2016, we had a once in 1,000-year flood, basically. The Amite River literally diverted itself through a city, and it was pretty rough. I mean, 7 feet of water in areas that weren't even considered flood zones. And after the flood waters went down, we started surveying all of the damage around the parish where I live at, because that's where the epicenter was. And in one neighborhood, everybody was living in tents outside of their house. They had already started to gut their houses to try and save them, but they were living in tents. And the Red Cross was there, just standing there, not handing out shit. And these people were looking for food and everything else. They lost everything. I mean, you can't save food if your refrigerator's been in 7 feet of water for 2 days. And there was a church not far from that, and I remember seeing that, and I went to a church not far from that and loaded up my car with plate lunches that they were giving out and went and brought it to that neighborhood myself, because the Red Cross was literally just sitting there not doing a goddamn thing.
Well, that reminds me of a year before that.
Yeah, I'll never give the Red Cross shit.
You said 2016. Back in 2015, remember that earthquake in Haiti? And they raised like a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
It was probably like 500 million at least. And they built like 6 homes. And nobody said shit. Nobody batted an eye at that. Like, it's totally fine. Just keep giving money to the Red Cross. Like, you're fucking throwing money away.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not helping anyone.
Too far.
And this brings the conclusion: never trust anything red.
Oh, jeez. God.
That's on Crip, cuz.
On Crip.
See, I'm even wearing Crip today, so there you go.
Let's go. Sorry, say what you're gonna say, bro. My bad.
All right, but in a more serious note, I mean, the Red Cross is definitely not your friend when it comes to helping natural disasters, because there are times, I think MJ knows this better than anyone else here, they're involved in some pretty heinous activities. Like, they're absolutely involved in some really heinous activities as well.
I heard some nasty stuff about that whole Haiti thing, about the Red Cross. Then I was like, yeah.
I mean, that's some horrific. Like, they're involved in some really horrific things. I don't want to say the words. I don't want to say, like, something about the youth and the blood or whatever and trafficking, but I'll say those 3 words, but
just say it, Harsh. Just say
it's definitely they're definitely involved in that shit.
I don't even what dinosaur is that?
It's
pterodactyl.
It's a pterodactyl that lives off the blood of innocent children.
Flying over to
white
the top.
Christian children, though.
Do you see what I see?
Otherwise, the dinosaur can't live forever. That's the theme song to the. That's that's what the dinosaur sings before it sinks its teeth into the fucking necks of precious white Christian babies.
Why do they gotta be Christian?
I don't know, because they're the best.
The best.
I'm just trying not to get beat up, all right?
I'm pretty sure nobody in Hollywood is Christian. So
No.
I don't know.
They're
I'm
all
just saying.
Scientologists and shit, or fucking hippies.
Scientologists, Satanists, whatever you want to call them. You know,
But
I don't think any of them are smart enough to actually properly worship Satan. I'm just gonna say that.
I mean, I don't know if they're worshiping per se, but I do see a lot of 6-point stars. Like they're always standing around them. So
okay, we're not gonna. No, come on.
Are you eating right now?
What? Come on, what?
Let's
Oh,
not do
Jesus
the 6
Christ,
point
let's
star
not-
thing. I was second. I was chewing a second on the sucker. I mean, and I crunched it in my mouth right as he said the 6-point star.
They're sucking
a
on
good
the
thing
sucker,
you don't have-
talking about
something wrong
cum.
with
Get
it.
your mind out of the gutter.
But
MJ.
I do not. I do not agree with all the symbol
Alright,
stuff.
alright,
Like, I mean,
all right. Shut up. Thank you.
Shut up about what?
I mean, we're on a live,
Sure
and it's a good thing.
thing.
I'm just thankful she doesn't have a good microphone right now at this point, because that would have sounded like the beginning of WAP if she would have had a good microphone, and we don't need that here on a Friday.
the beginning of what?
Of WAP.
Oh,
Why the fuck would it have sounded like that?
All of the mouth noises, really.
Nothing I said would is
The
anything
noise
close
from you
to-
eating a goddamn sucker in the middle of a live. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't even know where to begin with this kind of. I'm just.
Harsh, I'm sorry I answered you.
I don't even know where this goes from here. All I know is that, as Country Joe Logan says, the Red Cross hasn't been worth the shit since it started. The ones running that corporation pocket the money donated, just like most insurance companies.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's accurate.
Insurance companies should not be allowed to file for bankruptcy when a disaster happens. Agreed, Country Joe.
What's a
And then he says,
people
it's a flying purple people eater, LOL.
I'm sorry, I was busy looking at the CEO of the Red Cross making over $750,000 a year.
I was saying that song too.
Meanwhile, those people in Haiti are still living in steel shacks.
Yeah.
And shacks eating dirt cookies, living off of like less than a cent a day.
Dirt cookies. God damn.
Dirt cookies?
Yeah.
Do you have a recipe for that? I want to try that one day just to see.
Is
that Haitian food? Is that like the
it's
Haitian
butter?
recipe?
It's butter and literal dirt, and then you throw it into an oven.
So it's Haitian dirt cookies.
Haitian.
Yeah, they're forced to eat that because of how destitute they've become because of what happened with the hurricane and what happened with the Clinton Foundation, robbing them blind.
At least they have guns.
Yes, they can shoot their way into shelter. What?
I don't know. They could drive around in technicals and shit and go and take over parts of Africa like the Arabs do.
It's Haiti. They would all get in an accident before they even left the island.
That's true.
Half of them would be in the ocean.
That is
lost
true.
And not understanding how they got there.
I don't know. They can go like the Somali route and like become pirates.
Beth Green says, because you should know the media quits. Well, I mean, people become pirates when they get colonized and their resources go to shit. Anyway, Beth Green says, because you should know the media quits covering devastating disasters 2 days later. Most people don't know what it's really like. You do. That's why you should care, Scott. Also,
awesome, Harsh. I already read those comments.
No. Nope, that's for the ones who are just awake again. Anyhow, Drew Brady says, ha ha ha, the voice, ha ha, that's a real thing. It's good for the teeth.
Dirt cookies are good for the teeth. I'm going to Google that right now.
I don't know.
Is dirt. MJ, Google that for me because I can't get my window to open. I broke my computer.
I was curious to see what Haiti's up to because I haven't really looked into them in a while, but There's a man with a fucking stick pretending it's a gun. So I guess I take that back. They don't even have guns. They're using sticks and making them look like fucking guns.
If they had guns, they wouldn't be in the position they're in now. I mean,
no. This guy, at least he has fucking trigger discipline on that stick, though. I'm a little bit impressed by that.
Trigger discipline on a stick?
Yeah, I mean, there's no trigger, but his fingers to the, it's forward, not on the trigger. It's not bent. Jesus. It's straight forward. Like, good for him. Someone give that man a gun. He deserves it. He's like the Haitian special ops. So fucked up.
Haitian special ops. All right, well, moving on to the next headline.
The Haitians believe that dirt cookies contain calcium, which could be used as an antacid for nutrition.
Good Lord, they actually do that?
How do they make them? Is it actually made out of dirt?
Really dirt?
They call it a mud cookie also.
But is it made out of like actual mud or dirt?
Yes.
What the fuck?
There's other ways to get calcium.
That's wild.
Well, this is what happens when your entire country becomes raided and destitute and broken up by a bunch of colonizing, psychopathic criminals.
I'm honestly shocked that that's a real thing. I thought you were kidding.
No.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
It says actually that a mud cookie is a food that's eaten in Haiti, particularly during pregnancy. It can be found in slums. Dirt is collected from the nation's central plateau near the town of Hinchy and trucked over to the market where women purchase it. So, yeah, apparently it's
a thing.
That's what happens when you steal all their resources. Anyway.
But if anyone's interested... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Getting back to Justin's idea of Haitian pirates, could you imagine a bunch of little angry people screaming in French at you trying to board your ship?
I mean, if they raided like the ones, owned by the Clinton Foundation, I certainly wouldn't blame them for doing that.
I'm pretty sure all of those ships sunk years ago, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right, let me read this.
If anyone's interested, I sent a picture of the Haitian Special Forces operator to our core chat. But yeah, that's wild.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait for the backlash.
Well, I wasn't kidding about the trigger discipline. Look at him. He has better trigger discipline than most Americans. That's so crazy.
Anyway, Country Joe Logan says, God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah, it's dirt.
I won't ever listen to anybody that speaks like that.
It says the dirt is mixed with salt and vegetable shortening or fat. It's formed into flat discs. Then it's dried in the sun. So I don't know about eating all that.
Where'd you get a New Jersey accent from in the middle of that? You said shortening.
I'm trying to enunciate with the stuffy nose too, so
allergies.
It's the beginning of heater season. It's when it's freezing cold at night and then just warm in the day. And so yeah.
I just have an announcement to say. Justin Davis wants everybody to know that God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt, but it tastes like shit. Come on down to Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium. Sorry.
Come on down to Justin Davis's Boat Emporium where we are offering free mud cookies. Dirt cookies.
On I-95.
On I-95. Off the I-95.
I-95 next door to the Buc-ee's. That's right. We're running our Halloween special for $29.95 a night. And you can come over here and park your boat condo in the moat around the house. And don't mind the trash. We had a bad temp last week. But anyway, it's $29.95. You come down here and we give you a free fun size Snickers bar with every party.
And if you come on down during Halloween, we're offering mud cookies with actual worms in them because that's spooky. Don't bring it. No midgets allowed, though. They scare me. I don't like that.
What? I'm almost at midget status.
Well, then you can't come on down to I-95. I-95.
You can't.
Wow.
No mud cookies
That's
for
right.
you.
Just
Sorry, MJ.
come on down to I-90. Come on. Hold on. I lost my place in my script over here. I mean, you know, us Southern boys, we can't read all that well to start off with, and then they give you this goddamn script. And I can't read anyway, but okay, hang on. I got my place now. All right, come on down to I-95 right here next door to Bucky's to Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium and Bar and Grill. No, that's the First Baptist Bar and Grill. Wait, the First Baptist... shit, this is the wrong goddamn script again. What the hell are y'all doing to me over here? This is bullshit.
What chat is that? I'm not in that one.
know.
Y'all must have like 5 because I'm in like 3.
What chat are you? What chat? What?
Are you talking about? Oh,
This
maybe
is-
never mind.
This is such a funny show. This one exactly the way I would.
Are you looking for that picture of the
Yeah.
Haitian special
All right, well,
operator?
no.
He's on the radio
Right.
network.
There
But
he
we're
is.
done talking about the Haitians for today.
Yeah.
We already gave them a
Bye.
bunch of good ideas on
All
how
right,
to.
next headline. Justin. God damn it.
Sorry, Daddy.
Biden's Armageddon talk edges beyond bounds of U.S. intel. President Joe Biden's warning the world is at risk of a nuclear Armageddon was designed to send an unvarnished message that no one should underestimate the extraordinary danger if Russia deploys a tactical nuclear weapons in its war against Ukraine, administration's official said Friday. The president's grim assessment, delivered during a Democratic fundraiser on Thursday night, rippled around the globe and appeared to edge beyond the boundaries of the current U.S. intelligence assessments. U.S. security officials continue to say that they have no evidence that Vladimir Putin has imminent plans for a nuclear strike. Biden veered into talk about Ukraine at the end of his standard fundraising remarks, saying that Putin was not joking when he talks about the use of tactical nuclear weapons or biological or chemical weapons. We have not faced the prospect of Armageddon since Kennedy in the Cuban Missile Crisis, he added. He suggested that the threat from Putin is real because his military is, you might say, significantly underperforming. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on Friday did not directly respond to a question about whether Biden had gone into the event intending to invoke Armageddon, as the White House sought to clarify the president's off-the-cuff comments. She told reporters, Russia's talk of using nuclear weapons is irresponsible, and there's no way to use them without unintended consequences. It cannot happen. She also added that if the Cuban Missile Crisis has taught us anything, it is the value of reducing nuclear risk and not brandishing it. Biden's national security team for months has warned that Russia could use the weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine, as it has faced a series of strategic setbacks on the battlefield. But the president's remarks were the starkest warnings yet by the U.S. government about the nuclear strikes. One U.S. official said Biden was also trying to warn against underestimating the danger any level of tactical nuclear weapons. There's some concern in the administration that Russia has determined it can use its nuclear arsenal in a manner short of a full-blown nuclear attack on Ukraine and face only limited reaction from U.S. and Western allies who are determined to keep the Ukraine conflict from turning into a broader war. According to the official who spoke on a condition of anonymity to discuss administration thinking. Thank you, President Biden, for restarting the Cold War.
Honestly,
That's
yeah,
what we
thank you,
needed.
because I can't wait to get blown up by a nuclear bomb.
That's not gonna happen.
No, I
Biden
don't
can't even
think so.
remember what the fuck he ate for breakfast. The guy's an idiot.
You're not wrong. And Putin's not a dumb man.
Not
I mean, the
only that,
war.
at the end of the day, Russia's gonna fold just like all these other countries.
Oh, Russia's fucking up with this war, most definitely. And but his ego is so fucking strong that he's not gonna fucking back down. But he's not stupid enough to use nuclear weapons because he knows what that means for everybody.
Yep.
He's not a nihilist. He's not an nihilist. He's never been one. I'm not saying he's a good guy or anything. He's not. You don't get to that level of power by being a good person. But anyway, but the thing is, I think this is just revert. I think this is just gaslighting and double talk from the U.S. government.
That's all
This
it
is-
is.
It almost sounded like too, the weapons of mass destruction, like they're using it as a guise to go in there and
Right.
Russia.
I mean,
Right.
Kim Jong-un does this shit like all the fucking time.
Every other week.
Right. Well, I think in the U.S. case, they're basically trying to fan the flames to try to overthrow the Russian government.
I don't blame them. I mean, that's what I would do if I was in their position. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do.
What exactly would we get out of that?
Well, remember for them, the way they would think, it's another country that's destabilized. But in the long term, they'd end up dealing with the worst version of it 30 years later. Everyone complains about how Putin is in 2020. You're going to get a worse version of him like 20 years down the road if you overthrew their government. So,
well, not only that, but I mean, like all the proxy wars that are going on across the world, they can't function properly anymore. They can't compete with us. So that's oil for us. That's all kinds of benefits for us. So that's what I imagine is what their goal is with Russia. Because I mean, we saw what happened in Syria. We got embarrassed over there.
Yeah.
And Spetsnaz have probably killed more of ISIS than anybody. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's a fact because we don't really know what special force operators do usually, especially Russians. But I know they were fucking kicking ass out there, though.
Well, the only thing I know is that Sean Galston says bong water boy, yay for president, yay 2024, and no crayons for oil.
Crowns?
No crayons for oil.
Oh, crayons.
Oh, well.
Crayolas,
we don't-
bro.
Right. The Rosarts use oil in their crayons, so I think we're safe from that.
Yeah, I don't think fucking Putin's dumb enough to launch even this tiniest nuke that he has.
No.
But I don't. For whatever reason, we're allowed to use all kinds of
Okay.
crazy shit. Like,
No, it's. I mean, y'all. Yeah, okay, Russia may try to put off like they have all of this great stuff that they can use,
right?
but I mean, come on, this is Russia. None of that stuff has been maintained since the fall of the Soviet Union, and if they were to try to shoot off half their missiles, they'd probably wind up falling back on top of them.
They fucking nuked themselves in Chernobyl.
Exactly.
And all their tanks are garbage.
Half of them are broken down in the Ukraine right now. Like,
Exactly.
like literally broke down in random fields and shit all across Ukraine.
I saw a video. I don't know how accurate it was because you can never tell with videos you find on the internet. But like, it was a bunch of like Russian soldiers that got run over by their own tank by the Ukrainians.
Yes.
How does that happen? How do you get run over by a tank?
By a
Russian tank? They're not that fast.
I don't know. They can travel up to like 75 miles an hour, I want to say.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know if they made it all the way to the Ukraine. I'm guessing they're like already breaking down and shit. They have to be maintained immediately because it's their military is in a sad state, and I feel bad for a lot of those young Russian people that are out there dying for some bullshit.
Yeah. Well, all I'm gonna say is be careful about what you're hearing from Western media or Russian media because.
Oh no, it was like an alt-right like Gore website because I like giving myself trauma. PTSD and shit.
But the thing is, a lot of it is not based in accuracy. We're when it comes to global current events, we're hardly told the truth about anything when it comes to these.
Absolutely.
Right. I mean, when I'm hearing about, Kim Jong-un like threatening war and all that, I'm not saying, obviously he's a horrific person and all that stuff. But that being said, the US and the South Korean militaries have been doing all sorts of nuclear testing in the South China Sea for 70 years. So a lot of that when he's saying the things he's saying, a lot of that's just hey, look, cut it out or else. So
or what? We're gonna nuke them and then kill everybody? Like, I don't. It's just a stupid argument.
It's a dumb argument. I mean, it's his entire regime is propaganda driven.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not saying he's honest about anything. What I'm also saying is
it doesn't matter whether he's honest. I'm telling you, he doesn't have the I mean, yeah, he's got some shoring from the Chinese because I think the Chinese are being trolls when it comes to Kim Jong-un. I really think they're just trolling him and giving him like shit equipment so he can flex at the Western world with it. Because that's basically all I've seen happen with North Korea.
That's all he does.
Use Chinese shit that doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, we have a nuclear weapon. We have a ballistic missile that can't make it all the way across the Pacific. Good job, buddy.
The only way that they could ever be a threat is if they had like a suitcase bomb that they bought from somebody. But they don't really have any fucking money.
They don't really have many allies. Buy anything.
Exactly. And they're wasting it all building these piece of shit rockets that might as well be like those rockets, like My First Rocket or whatever you buy for your kid to teach them how to fucking, build a little rocket
with a nuclear warhead duct taped to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like I said, I'm not saying that they're capable of any of these things or like they're all the victims or not. Because what I'm saying is, it's like knowing how the Chinese work, they probably would use Korea just to attack the U.S. So.
Yeah, well, but that would be like the ultimate troll against Korea at that point.
Yeah,
like prod them to attack the U.S. Right, like prod them to attack the U.S. and then the U.S. just basically erase them off the face of the planet.
They erase one city, we erase a whole country.
Well, there is only one city in North Korea, I think, Pyongyang.
That's true.
It's like North Korea is like the Utah of the Koreas. There's not even really people there.
It's just a bunch of stray dogs and cats and shit walking the streets.
And a family of oons that are pissed off about everything all the time.
Oh, that place is a shithole. Those fucking poor people that have to live there. I mean, that must be fucked. Like, every day of your life is just fucked to shit because of some fat asshole whose daddy died and he wants to carry on his legacy. Like, that's crazy to me.
There you go, Hart.
I mean,
they have a collector tin out, just to let everybody know.
Damn, 64.
The metal box.
Does it have the macaroni and cheese crayon?
I'm not opening it to find out, you jackass. That's the point of a collectible.
I think that's like a special crayon or some shit. That was like
Justin
way
Del
back in
Toro's
the day.
The type of person that'll buy like 2 mint condition things just so he could play with one and put the other one on the shelf.
No, I'll open both of them and play with both of them at the same time.
Mix all the colors up in both.
Fucking leave them at work and shit on my desk and like it gets stolen. Like,
break a bunch of them, have like a bunch of missing colors.
Yeah.
One box has like 4 blues and the other box has no blues at all.
Give it to some girl that I've been talking to for a week. It's like, yeah, you can have it. I love you. I'm just kidding, Shy. It's been more than a week.
Cheyenne, we know what you're getting for Christmas. It's going to be a box of crayons.
Probably. Her kids are
an adult coloring book too. Get her an adult coloring book and get the kids like each their own small pack of crayons with children's coloring books.
That's not a bad idea. I was thinking more like jewelry or something, but I don't know. She's into like racing and shit. I don't think I'm gonna get her like a fucking
diamond studded shift lever.
There you go. That would actually be pretty badass. She'd probably break it.
With like a candy skull encrusted in diamonds with like pink eyes.
Fuck. Yeah. I'm glad I get a bonus for Christmas because that's going to be expensive.
Yeah. And if you
her kids will only get crayons after that because that's all I could afford after that fucking. That shit.
And you also have my cell phone number, so if you need a loan in order to cover it, just let me know, and I'll hook you up.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, for crayons, I'll even send you a box just because of the misery. So
the misery of listening to Joe's music. Yeah, I'm still
duct tape it to Joe's CD. Duct tape the box of crayons to Joe's CD.
Yeah, speaking of which, when do you want me to send that to you by?
Whenever you want.
Okay.
I can't wait. I can't wait to listen to it and kill myself. The cops are just gonna find me like Kurt Cobain. Fucking Joe's music's gonna be playing. They're just gonna leave me there.
Like, yeah, this guy does not. He's too far gone to help. Well, in other news, Uvalde schools suspended the entire police force after outrage. In Austin, Texas, Uvalde School District suspended its entire police force Friday amid fresh outrage over the hesitant law enforcement response to the gunman who massacred 21 people at Robb Elementary School. The extraordinary move follows the revelation that the district hired a former state trooper who was among hundreds of officers who rushed to the scene of the May 24th shooting. School leaders also put 2 members of the district police department on administrative leave, one of whom chose to retire instead, according to a statement released by the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District. Remaining officers will be reassigned to other jobs in the district. Uvalde school leaders' suspension of the campus police operations 1 month into a new school year in South Texas community underscores the sustained pressure that families of some of the 19 children and 2 teachers killed have kept on the district. Brett Cross, the uncle of a 10-year-old victim, Uzziah Garcia, had been protesting outside the Uvalde School Administration building for the past 2 weeks, demanding accountability over officers allowing a gunman with an AR-15 style rifle to remain in a 4th grade classroom for more than 70 minutes. Uvalde families have said students in the district are not safe so long as officers who waited so long to confront and kill the gunman remain on the job. We did it, Cross tweeted. The Uvalde School District had 5 campus police officers on the scene of the shooting, according to a damning report from Texas lawmakers that laid out multiple breakdowns in the response. A total of nearly 400 officers responded, including school district police, the city's police, county sheriff's deputies, state police, and U.S. Border Patrol agents, among others. The fallout Friday is the first in Uvalde's school police force since the district fired former police chief Pete Arredondo in August. He remains the only officer to have been fired from his job following one of the deadliest classroom attacks in U.S. history. I thought that Uvalde were using like regular police. I didn't know they had their own campus police system.
That's pretty crazy to me. And it's obviously not working.
Well, they had 5 officers on the scene at an elementary school, and they let the gunman stay in a classroom for 70 minutes?
Literally, you take a vow to protect people at any cost. Your life is on the line no matter what you do once you put on that badge. Especially for kindergartners. Like, what the fuck?
I just don't understand why you would need a police force for a school when you have regular police and sheriff's departments. I mean,
why would they be called first too? That doesn't make sense. Like, if they're on scene, they're on scene.
But police forces at our school here.
every school has its own cop and everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have that.
But
out here
that's
too, but-
a school liaison
Yeah,
officer.
that's a
Those
school.
are
Exactly.
They call that
cops
school
that are
resource
assigned. It's not a
officers.
whole police force.
Right. It's like a sheriff. Like over here at the schools, it's deputies that sheriff's
Yeah.
deputies that work at the schools.
I mean,
right, and they hate their lives probably because that must be a really shitty job.
right. Well,
I can
all I'm gonna
imagine
say
it
are
is.
two things. One, police, legally speaking, are not required to protect its citizens. There is a Supreme Court ruling from either 2004 or 2006 that reinforces that. They're there to protect the Capitol. That's why the original police were known as the Slave Patrol. Second of all, more importantly, are we really going to pretend like this wasn't some sort of, like this was natural or normal?
Yeah, shit show to begin with, and now they're hanging the ones that they put out to orchestrate the shit show.
Right.
But what kind of man, especially who's an officer who's armed, sits there and listens to children being shot?
Yep.
And then holding back parents that are willing to go in there and risk their lives for their kids to save them.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know. The whole thing is just bullshit to me. And
Yeah,
like,
it is.
You know, I'm gonna make Harsh and Hart really happy right now, and I'll join you in like the what ifs kind of thing. But like, it might be a move to militarize police further, even though they're already pretty much there.
Well, one, it's a move to militarize police, but two, more importantly, it's just another. I hate saying this word because I know how much people hate hearing this term. And yes, there are real victims in this. There's always real victims in these situations. But I hate saying the phrase "false flag," but that's exactly what it was. Because, like you said, otherwise, naturally speaking, no man should be standing out there while children are getting shot and killed.
Nope.
Yep.
That just doesn't happen. That's why I don't think any of it was natural.
So what you're saying is they told him to stand down.
Basically,
Absolutely.
I mean, I know that happened with the military when they were in Afghanistan. They're listening to, I don't even like talking about this shit, but like children being abused, and they wanted to go in there and do something about it. And their commanding officers were like, "You better stand the fuck down. You better not go in there." And they knew their ass it would be grass if they did anything. And it's the same for these people, and their ass is grass anyway. But I don't know.
Well, I don't know, bro. That's kind of different because in another country, there's rules of engagement.
True.
And here
Well,
at home,
there's
you shouldn't have to stand down. You should have fucking been in there, even if your life was going to be gone as well.
There's ROEs here for sure, but I thought the police were basically, their whole fucking job is to go in and, you know, fix the situation, whatever it is, active shooter, blah, blah, blah. Like we hear about active shooters getting shot by regular beat cops all the time. It's not always SWAT. They don't always wait for SWAT. Sometimes one man just goes in and he has the balls to do it, and he takes down the shooter with 2-3 shots.
all right.
And it just seems odd to me that these cops just sat out there the whole time, especially when it concerns children. Like that's what really concerns me. If it was like adults, like it was, you know, a gym or something, maybe they got cold feet. They're like, fuck it, they're old enough.
Any life is precious.
True,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah,
But
they shouldn't have stood out there that long.
I feel like children
should have acted.
Children have a lot more innocence to them than adults. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that's like a thing that everybody can agree with me on, is that children,
yeah, absolutely,
should be protected, even though some of them are little shits. But they don't deserve to get shot at their fucking school. Period. Like,
yeah. I completely agree with that. I mean, it's you know, them to hold back parents trying to save their children while they're just standing there not doing shit.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, in a situation like that, they're lucky I wasn't there and I didn't have a gun, because I would have wound up shooting them instead to get to my kid.
Yeah, which would be totally reasonable. I mean, you would go to fucking prison for the rest of your life, but at least you got a chance to save your kid, and it'd be worth it. And I think any man worth his salt would do the same fucking thing.
How many cops were on the scene that was holding all these parents back? Does anyone know? Because, I mean, you're going to hold back all the parents? What What were they going to do if the parents broke that line? They were going to shoot the
They
parents?
said they detained the parents. I'm reading the comments. They said they detained the parents trying to go in and rescue the kids. And that's what they did. It was heinous.
Parents should have pushed it regardless.
Right.
You're
It
not gonna
surprises
hold,
me
like-
too. This
Yeah,
happened
the
in
parents
Texas.
should have.
Yeah. To read the comments, first Lori asked what you're all doing. She always wanted the 64 box of crayons, built-in sharpener. I got the mandatory 8 box and said jealousy, homeschool. And then she asked, "Hey, Harsh, where's Robert?" I don't know where she is, Lori. But she also says that Texas cops have become wimpy. What kind of human does that to a man or a woman or other? Totally false flag. Debbie Sane Progressive taught us that. They detained their parents trying to go in and rescue their kids. Heinous. And Country Joe says, these police should only be allowed to work in sanitation. It is most likely a false flag, which happens around elections.
Well, I'm reading here in total 376 law enforcement officers, a force larger than the garrison that defended the Alamo, descended upon the school in a chaotic, uncoordinated scene that lasted for more than an hour. The group was devoid of clear leadership, basic communications, and sufficient urgency to take down the gunman, the report says. That you need that many fucking people for one guy? Who are these officers? Like, where do they get trained at? Like, SWAT teams are what? Like, how many people do a SWAT team? I guess it depends by state, but
That's, I don't know. I don't. There couldn't have been 300 officers there, and no one did anything for an hour.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
That
doesn't
couldn't
make
have been 300. That doesn't make sense.
that's the weird thing about it.
And not only that, I don't give a fuck if the cops are on scene. If my kid's in there, you're gonna shoot me, bro, because there is nobody that's gonna stop me from getting in there.
Yeah,
I don't. That's crazy. 300 fucking cops.
That's why there was 300 cops there.
I didn't see 300 cops when all that went down. That's what I'm saying. 300 cops got there within an hour.
I think they're saying they descended upon a scene and like there might have been less cops when it started, obviously, because why would there be a ton of them right away?
That's what I'm saying. That city, I don't even think that city has 300 cops.
They got 400 just for that fucking school, apparently. But yeah, I guess the SWAT team is 24 members in LA. And in Texas, I don't know. But you only need 20 people to take down one gunman or multiple gunmen even. They're trained for this. And these officers just sat there and didn't do shit and there were 300 of them. Like, I don't believe that, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they doing? And just because there was no leadership and no one said, this is what we're doing, like, I would have been like, I don't give a fuck if I get fired. Fuck my pension. I'm going in there.
Yep.
I'm going to save these fucking kids.
It was probably some bureaucracy bullcrap that was holding it, because it's a school police that was so it's their jurisdiction and their show. Who's running the show within like the
possibly, but I like where's the human nature though to like that instinct to protect children? You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna listen to these kids get popped and you're not gonna go in there? Fuck my job. Fuck my pension. I'll go to fucking prison. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and not a single one of them decided that to go in there. Like, that doesn't fucking make any sense. And I'm sure there was female officers there too, and their instinct to protect children is even stronger than a man's.
There goes pro-life.
On purpose. Yeah.
So much for being pro-life.
Right, exactly. Lori says on purpose equals false flag, so they can take our guns, political moves. They called in neighboring cops. Beth Green says, I just got back. Are we talking about the Uvalde shooting? Apparently. And she says they didn't do shit.
I don't believe it's a false flag to take people's guns. It's Texas. You'll never take guns from Texans.
Yeah,
and Joe
good luck
says,
with that, bro.
And Country Joe says, I bet if I had a gun and tried to rob a bank, I'd be dead before I got out the door without me firing a shot. Remember, MSM mostly lies, and y'all are saying what MSM said like it's the truth. Well, that's the main crux of it all, but, you know.
No, I've read this story on multiple news fronts. It's not just MSN. It's not right or left. It's both. and they're both saying the same shit. I mean, which is not surprising either, because like it's fucking it's corporate media.
Right.
You're never gonna get the exact truth. You're not gonna get what happened. And I don't know. You can only assume what the reason is behind whatever the fuck happened there, because that was a clusterfuck, and that should have never happened.
Right. And Laura says, "Oh yes, and some of those cops saved their own kids, then blocked other parents from doing the same."
See, I've never
see, that's
heard that,
bullshit.
but I don't believe that either.
Right. And she says the Texas guns aren't the point. It is about other states, a national agenda.
That's not going to affect California. We already are fucking bottom of the barrel when it comes to firearms. Doesn't
People still
stop us
carry
from
them.
owning. Yeah, exactly. People still own illegal shit. We're close to the border. If you can cross over to TJ through San Diego and come back home, you can come back home with some fucking real shit. For my FBI agent that's listening, I've never done that. I just know that you can, because you taught me how to do that. All right, so we're both going down.
No matter where you are,
Who you
you're
are,
gonna grab something
as
to
long
protect
as you
yourself. It's
love
gonna
me.
happen.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, I know plenty of people, or I've met plenty of people. Not that I know them. I don't. Fuck. I'm gonna get
Just
myself
fucking say
swatted.
it.
I've corresponded with other entities of human form that own illegal firearms in California, and you can't stop that shit. You just
Right.
can't. So
Right.
why bother? So now you have all your actual citizens that are law abiding, that are basically, like you've cut their nuts off, and I have to use this like piece of shit gun against somebody who has an AK-47 who wants to do me harm, and he could just spray my whole fucking house.
That's a choice, though. It's a choice that you.
It is a choice. It is a choice.
I'm a
Well, yeah,
law-abiding citizen, and I own a lot of illegal shit when I was living in California. That's not going to stop me. Those rules on paper is not going to stop me from protecting my life. I would rather be caught with it than caught without it. I don't give a fuck what they say.
I mean, you'll live, but
until you take that shit to the bank.
You'll go to prison forever, though. You can't shoot fucking thugs in
Right.
your house, or sorry,
Yeah, that's
outside your
fine with
house.
me.
You
That's
shoot them with
fine
an
with
illegal
me. I
gun
don't
too,
care.
though, you're going down.
All right, let me read
Again,
more of the
I would
comments
gladly
before-
sit in prison for the rest of my life to make sure that my family is safe.
Well, absolutely, but if it's just me, fuck it, I'm not gonna risk prison for myself, because I'd rather die than go to prison. To be honest, I'm too skinny, bro. It ain't the place for me, man.
Right. Lori says it is in the news that they saved their own kids and blocked their parents. Listen to the mom who broke the lines and saved her own and other kids. I don't make shit up. And Beth says you can get more though, Justin. Join the Uvalde groups and talk to people who were actually there, not the media.
I would rather not bring that shit up to
Awesome.
parents of their children that were involved in that. That must have been super traumatizing. Oh, I guess that is true. Jacob Alvarado, an off-duty border patrol officer, but that's not the same thing as the Uvalde police, helped evacuate his daughter and several other children. He did so with the assistance of other officers. This happened prior to the moments when officers confronted the shooter. However, in total, the shooter was in the school for around 77 minutes, making the 91 minutes part of the tweet incorrect. Which I guess, I mean, I don't know why anybody would believe a fucking tweet, but I don't think that Uvalde officers were there to say, I don't know. I don't see anything that says that. That guy was a border patrol officer. So he was probably mad that he had to go rescue his daughter. He's like, I'm busy kicking out fucking Mexicans, and I'm working on a case on Justin. Like, can you get the fuck out of the school?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you want to find
That was a
out
joke,
more,
Harsh.
No, I know. I'm just monitoring the comments. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Bet, I mean, if you want to follow Bet's advice in regards to finding more things out about Uvalde, that's fine. If not, well, all I'm going to say is I'm not really surprised that cops could stand out there and let a bunch of kids get killed, because if there's anything I've learned over the past half decade or so, it's that law enforcement really doesn't care about the wellness of children.
or followers. They're
Right.
Well, there's a lot of police brutality and a lot of police abuse. I'm not going to demonize every single police officer.
Oh, I'm not saying like every one, but I'm saying like the 95% of them don't care about.
I don't know
really
what
care about the well-being of children. Like
I don't know what
just
I don't know
call
what the
it what it is.
percentage is, but I know a lot of officers are parents and they have their kids of their own. So I think a lot of officers do have that parental instinct to take care of kids, regardless if it's their own or not.
Right.
But
I mean,
but these guys, it just seemed like they didn't give a shit about anybody in there.
right.
Because it
but
wasn't just kids.
Right, but I think what I'm trying to say is, in a more grand picture, how often do you see some of these pedophiles actually getting arrested by law enforcement?
Well, the FBI and Homeland Security and ICE usually take care of that.
I mean, even with a lot of them, it's still like maybe 1 to 5% of pedophiles get arrested in America. It's not a common occurrence.
Well, they do like dragnets and stuff.
Right, but my point being is like it's not uncommon for me to believe that law enforcement or any of these like politicians or any celebrities or anything that really give a or these like power players really care about the children because they've never done anything for the most part to demonstrate that. And the ones who have been are the ones who've usually been who've been humiliated and hijacked and ruined.
Well, I mean, oddly enough, like I doubt the Uvalde police department that was involved in this situation are working on any pedophilia cases or anything, even though they work with kids exclusively, protecting the school.
Well, I hope they're not, because they
nothing's gonna happen. They're like,
right. They just let another Brian Johnson go. That's what would happen.
Exactly. Oh, that guy turned narc, 100%. Typical anonymous. That's what they do. They get caught, they turn narc, and then they end up working for the FBI until they die.
Right. I mean that. His life and his death is just emblematic about how law enforcement does not care about arresting pedophiles. Like, let's just call what it is. I mean, if a mediocre, typical white suburbanite who was grooming children for years, if not decades, doesn't really, isn't really talented, is a celebrity, isn't a political guy, isn't like anything, doesn't have any sort of standing except for the fact that he just lives in suburban America, and he can basically get away with like grooming children and being a raging pedophile for like 15-20 years, never get convicted.
On top of that, a drug dealer,
right? A junkie too, yeah, a drug dealer,
and
right. But he actually went to jail for drugs. He never went to jail for any of his sex crimes. Never went to jail. Never got charged. Never been. And then never even was questioned about it by law enforcement. And I'm not saying this to single him out. I'm saying this because it's a microcosm in a way of, how law enforcement really, how little they care about children. I mean,
it depends.
I know it's a stretch, but
because like law enforcement it depends on if we're talking state or federal, because every state's different. Right. Usually smaller towns, the cops are a lot more willing to give you a second chance before popping you in the fucking head. You know what I mean? They're like willing to talk you down and be more. They know you. They grew up with you. Like they saw you when you were a kid, so they have feelings for you. In a big city, these cops don't give a shit. So it's easy for police abuse and brutality to happen. Plus, they have to deal with a lot of shitty people all day. So I can't imagine how fucked up that job is.
Right.
Doesn't give them an excuse to beat the shit out of people whenever they want.
Right. Unless you're in a big city and like the cops from the same neighborhood or something, then
yeah,
they'd be fine. But otherwise, that's usually not the case. But
I've never got fucking bullied by a cop or anything. And I live in a big ass city. There's 5 million people in this county.
Well, you're a big motherfucker, bro.
I mean, it's not even that, bro. I mean, just
I probably should.
All it's based down is don't fucking be an ass face, bro.
Right.
That's true. I mean,
you gotta give respect to get it.
Don't kiss ass either, and give respect where it's given back to you. You know what I mean?
But who's kissing ass though? I mean, I'm not
Nobody.
sitting
Well,
there like, oh yeah, man, that's a good shit, this and this. Nah.
oh no. I didn't say you're kissing their ass. I'm just being in general. I'm speaking in general. Like, you don't have to kiss their ass just because they're wearing the fucking badge. You don't have to respect them because of the badge. They don't own you that way. And like, some of these cops really think they do because they got the gun and the badge, and it's like,
Yeah,
I might
there's
have
always
one
going to
too,
be power
motherfucker.
trippers out there, man.
Yeah,
But
for sure. And I think a lot of people join the police force to have that power trip because they're fucking,
Well,
I don't know.
that's what they are. They are the arm for the CPS. That's pretty much child trafficking, and they go and rip families apart, and they have no problems making children cry. No, they don't give a shit about children.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I mean, the
saying that
CPS
cops
is
are doing
broken.
that?
CPS and police are broken, period.
They are, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. I'll agree with that 100%.
Are they
there's
broken
been
or are they
4 or
working
5
exactly
cases.
the way they're supposed to
Now,
work?
there is 4 or 5 cases currently right here in Livingston Parish, Louisiana, where the sheriff's department literally swept pedophilia allegations within the department under the rug.
Yeah, that's not
And
surprising.
one of them's now in prison. Him and his wife both. It made national headlines several times. You know, I mean,
right. That kind of goes with what I'm saying about how law
Yeah.
enforcement
They're
operates.
not broken. Then they're doing their job.
Unfortunately,
no, they're not doing their job. They need to be disbanded. CPS needs to go away.
They're not doing their job according to what we think, but they're doing their job according to the guidelines of the courts. That's the sad and the scary part. No, so like I said, the Supreme Court ruled that law enforcement does not have the responsibility of protecting and serving people, the citizens of this country, according to the Supreme Court ruling.
And that's why I will continue to carry no matter what state I'm in.
Are you talking about physical state or mental state?
Both.
Oh, okay. That's-
All right, speaking of headlines, we're going to go back in time because this is to about 2005. Because why? This is related to today. According to the New York Times article from June 28th, 2005, the Supreme Court domestic violence. Justices rule police do not have a constitutional duty to protect someone. Washington, June 27th, 2005. The Supreme Court ruled on Monday that the police did not have a constitutional duty to protect a person from harm, even a woman who had obtained a court-issued protective order against a violent husband, making an arrest mandatory for a violation. The decision, with an opinion by Justice Antonin Scalia and dissents from Justice John Paul Stevens and Ruth Bader Ginsburg, overturned a ruling by a federal appeals court in Colorado. The appeals court had permitted a lawsuit to proceed against a Colorado town, Castle Rock, for the failure of the police to respond to a woman's pleas for help after her estranged husband violated a protective order by kidnapping their 3 young daughters, whom he eventually killed.
Oh, this happens all too often too.
Right.
I think that's more of a legal issue. Protective orders and stuff like that. Like, they should fix that shit because everybody knows they don't work. If this man wants to kill his family, it doesn't matter if there's a restriction or whatever put on him. He's going to do it. And it happens all the time.
Judge Martinez, as simple as he can be sometimes, is absolutely right. He says, hey, clown hats, your government is pure evil. At some point, that's just the harsh reality of it.
How would we fix that, though? Like, add, I mean, we have plenty of officers in LA.
This is actually a great topic, and I wish my friend Brandon Browning was here to discuss this, because his idea, and he's actually running for a local office here, his idea was actually to have a community third party come in and pretty much assume but make the sheriff's department take accountability for everything they do. like a community type watch group type thing, like police policing the police, basically.
Well, we have that
but actual
basically.
community members.
Right.
But
right. And he's not talking about, and the thing he was talking about was not, it doesn't matter whether you're a convicted felon or not. If you're in good standing with the community, you have an opportunity to be on that panel. And you basically make the police department take accountability for their actions. If there's any questions that arises, it goes before the community panel. They investigate it. You know, they look at it from all angles, and then they force the police to do what they're supposed to do.
Well, my thing is, what are they supposed to do in order to prevent somebody who has, you know, they're not allowed to be at this residence or within certain.
And they show up and the police don't
somebody.
do anything. That would be an accountability issue.
Oh, absolutely. But if, let's say, well, most of the time they don't show up, and they don't keep this person from. There's no barrier there. It's just
that's what you would hold them accountable for.
Right.
That's what you would hold them if they call the cops and that cop decides not to respond because he has an anal boil and couldn't get to Dunkin' Donuts fast enough before he got to his work shift. It doesn't matter. I mean. That's an accountability issue that would be looked into by the community, and they would suggest certain actions that the courts would take. The courts would uphold.
I don't know because I've never managed a police force, obviously, but I would imagine, you know, maybe sending out patrols closer to that area where this woman is saying, like, this man is going to kill me one day. So they're close by. So their response time will be
It's not
immediate.
just that. It would also be actually responding to a call from that person.
Right. Which they should.
Right. And
100%.
That's what he was saying, is that police wouldn't even show up to enforce a protection order, you know, in 2005. I think that is I know what the police departments were initially put in place for, but I mean, they're ultimately supposed to protect and serve. And if they don't do that, well, then we don't need them. Period.
It says it on their fucking side of their cars in every state for the most part.
And that's the thing, they're protecting and serving the ideas and rights of the political system. It
right. I understand the roots.
Right. They're protecting the Capitol. They're not protecting
And then send them all to the Capitol. Let us all wear guns, and we'll take care of ourselves. To hell with them.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I mean, there's no reason to have local law enforcement, parish or state law enforcement, if they're only worried about the goddamn Capitol.
Winnipeg, my hometown, there's the Bear Clan. It's a community. The community goes out and polices the community. They would care for each other and look out for each other. Crime's down, and people are getting cared for. Go care for your community.
Oh, well, every police department's a brotherhood. All of them. They all operate the same way. And I feel bad for the cops that actually want to do their job. And they do the right thing, and they report a fellow officer who did something wrong, and they're the ones that get fucked. That's a problem. That needs to be dismantled, but it's
You just named every police department in the country.
Absolutely, they're all the same. I've seen small town sheriff departments, the corrupt from the very tippy top, all the way to, you know, and the LAPD is fucking famous for this shit. NYPD, all the big states with like big cities and stuff. Same shit. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. That's just, I don't know why they have that gang mentality, but that's the way it is.
Currently,
it's a
and
gang.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what
we had it.
And to go to show you how closed doors some of these departments can be, I know everybody knows what the Freedom of Information Act is.
Right.
Okay. This guy, our sheriff here in this parish, his name is Jason Ard, literally figured out loopholes legally to get around the Freedom of Information Act, so he doesn't have to provide any type of records that, if anything, his deputies do.
Wow, Jesus Christ!
You know, I mean, really, why do you even need that? If your officers are doing what they're supposed to be doing, if they're upholding the law and they're doing everything by the legal guidelines, why the hell do you need to lock everything down so nobody can find out any information about any case? What's the point?
And that was another fishy thing said about that that school board has their own police thing. That's to keep their problems, and you don't have to go outside the house to report problems. All problems stay within the house.
Yeah, they try to keep everything on an internal basis, which is even less transparency. So you don't really know what's going on there at any given time. Whereas if they had to call an outside source, like an actual police department, the ones that actually responded to help these kids, that wouldn't happen.
Y'all seen that video of that FBI agent that got arrested by like some small town police department? Shit was hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that a while back.
That was a fucking
but in all
huge
honesty,
show.
that FBI agent was just as freaking stupid.
He was just
by
as
not
bad.
Wanting. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Why do you need to see my ID? I mean, dude, you're literally stalking a police department. Of course, they're going to ask you for your ID at that point.
Right.
I mean, you're sitting outside of a police department. You're going to people's houses and asking them questions about a federal case without identifying yourself. You really think
once
the police
he did,
is just
though,
going to sit there? Well, I mean, yeah, but once he did, the police should have backed off. But I mean, at that point, they already had egg in their face. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's
that video is just a great example of how fucked up our justice system is. It's all over the goddamn place. These departments don't even work together. This is why 9/11 was able to take place. You know what I mean?
And as far as militarizing the police departments, I don't know why everybody freaks out. That all of that shit that they buy in those police departments is readily available through government auctions for anybody that lives in the country. So if you wanted to buy a surplus army armored vehicle to drive around in, well, guess what? By your right as an American, you can damn sure do that.
Depends on the state, though.
There's a dude out here that has one.
Yeah, you know, we should do it as for CrayolaSec to celebrate like the 402nd or 3rd anniversary.
We're gonna buy a surplus Humvee.
No, we're gonna go, exactly. Go buy a Humvee and buy like a military tank at an auction. That's what we should.
We need a Bearcat.
No, we're gonna buy.
Got to step it up, man.
And I'm not even going to repaint the Humvee because I mean they literally run like $6,000 at government auctions. You can buy a Hummer. Yeah, I'm gonna buy one, and I'm not even going to recolor it. Yes, for about $6,500, you can buy one.
That's it.
Yes.
Holy fuck!
Most of them have air conditioners now because half of them's been overseas in Iraq, and I mean it gets to be like 2 million degrees a day out there. So I mean. And they're already wearing like
500. That's cheap as fuck.
Well, they're trying to cut their losses. I mean, we gave the Taliban a shit ton for free.
Oh yeah,
that's true too.
Yeah. That was wild to me too. Like,
but I mean, you know that whole thing about they left tons of helicopters. Did you see some of the helicopters they actually left? They were like they were like parts helicopters.
More than 2 years.
No, they were parts helicopters. Like they were missing turbines, they were missing rotors, and all kind of other shit.
The way
I
they
remember
were
seeing a video.
Was so off.
I seen a video of the Taliban actually pissed off that the U.S. didn't leave anything worth of anything for them when it came to the helicopters.
It just came in littered.
I feel like
bugs.
I feel like they attached flags and shit to the helicopters just to compensate for the missing parts. You know what I mean?
Oh, half of them didn't have doors. I mean, they probably took like. I mean, it was funny, man. I mean, they probably took like 20 helicopters to make one that they could actually fly.
They really thought they had a victory there too. They're like, oh
they
left we can like all the kids and women we want.
I think they left like over 200 broken down Humvees that were like literally no wheels, no engines in them, and I mean just all kind of crazy shit. You know, they left billions of dollars worth of equipment. Yeah, they did leave some good stuff behind. But a lot of it was junk.
Right. That's scrap. And that convoy that they had parading around bragging about all the shit we left, like none of that is going to fucking last. they don't have mechanics or engineers to maintain the helicopters. Maybe the Humvees, but they're going to be using like rocks and shit like for the wheels. It's going to be like the Flintstones out there.
Don't underestimate the ingenuity of the porters. And
Look,
they'll figure shit out.
exactly. Anybody that can take a lawnmower they found on the side of the road and cut their grass with it the next day is an okay person in my book. I don't care.
I'm
what
not talking
anybody
shit.
says.
I was just saying, they're going to be driving these Humvees with their feet. Because these things are
I
going to
mean,
break
I'm
the
pretty
fuck
sure
out.
there's some people out there
Okay,
that know what
Hoey
the fuck
says
they're
that
doing.
decommissioned vehicles you can buy too. Yeah, and believe it or not, if you have enough money in your bank account, you can actually go to a naval auction and buy an entire battleship after they decommissioned it.
Why the fuck not?
I mean,
Why are rich people so boring? I'd be doing all this shit if I had that much money. If I just had fucking millions of dollars just to fucking throw away, fuck the McLaren. I'm buying a battleship.
yeah, imagine docking a battleship at like Lake Michigan.
Well,
No, I dock it in
That's
front of
ridiculous.
fucking Justin Davis's boat
but you
emporium
see,
and blow that
this is
shit
the
up.
thing. Everybody's worried about militarizing the police, but they buy body armor, they buy the helmets for their riot gear, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. You can go to any military surplus outlet store and buy the exact same shit off the shelf. So how is that militarizing anything if you can buy the exact same thing?
Well,
That's
because
what I don't
most people are
understand.
going to assume they can't buy it. So
There's
Well, I mean,
military surplus stores in every city.
I know.
I mean,
Like,
out in California, the shit I can buy can't compete with a police officer. Definitely not a SWAT officer.
That's because you live in California.
Exactly.
right.
You might not be able to buy it at a store, but you can get it on the street.
Right. But and Scott, to take it back even to the Humvee point,
Stop
someone
buying
like
shit at a
me.
shore.
Oh, sorry.
Get shit off of the street.
Right, that too. But one, to go back to the Humvee point that you brought up about it's being 6,500. Some people consider that, but most people consider that a lot of. I would consider that to be, relatively cheap considering how the, automobile industry is going right now. But some people consider that to be a lot of money. So that all depends on people look at things, really. So I don't know.
Well, I mean, I look at
Perspective
it
is
this way. I
everything.
mean, if a police department feels that they need an armored vehicle and they can buy one at a military auction for $35,000 and their budget can handle that, then why should they not have it?
I feel like there is a need to have SWAT teams, obviously, because there's a lot of times where they come in and they do their job and they do it well.
Well,
And
9 times
that's all
out
they
of 10,
do.
that's what those armored vehicles are bought for, and that's what a lot of people
Exactly.
don't understand.
It's not like every
Understand.
patrol fucking beat cop is driving one of these motherfuckers. Like they have the bare minimum equipment.
Right, and you're not going to see a freaking armored vehicle with police lights all over it just driving around patrolling neighborhoods.
Right. That would
mean-
be true, like a police state right there for sure. When there's
Right.
armored vehicles patrolling around 24/7, blaring some fucking, some message to you, like stay in your house. You're not allowed to come out after 10 o'clock. It's not like North Korea. But the fact that the police are starting to look more military is kind of scary. But I don't think we're at that point where they're fully militarized or anything like that. And I don't feel like, I don't know. You
Laura
never
says-
fucking know, right? But yeah.
Winnipeg got their own big. It's almost a tank. Yeah, it's pretty much a tank, kind of.
Right. First of all, they're gonna, if they really want to militarize, they'll just go straight to tanks. They're not gonna care about anything else. And second of
They're-
all, Lori says they quit making Hummers, didn't they? Try
No,
parking one in at a
No,
grocery store.
they still American General still manufactures. Well, it's actually
We lost audio.
We were in Walt Disney.
people.
Scott,
really
we
didn't
lost
see the
audio.
need.
Everything you just said, nobody heard it, bro. I'm sorry.
Hello.
What the hell are you?
Okay.
There.
You're good. What?
You got to repeat it back.
Okay, sorry, but what I was saying is that the Hummers that they build now are just made exclusively for the military. They used to have a domestic market, but that kind of went away when people realized they didn't want to spend $100,000 on a luxury Humvee.
You know, that was the Series 1 Humvee, which is what's still used by the military.
I feel like the only reason to drive a Humvee is if you can push other cars out of the fucking way, like you can in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know what I mean? That must have been fun as shit. Like I'm not gonna say the rest of the fucking tour was fun. I don't know. These motherfuckers love that shit though. But can you imagine how fun that would be? You're just in traffic and you just fucking push cars out of the way. As someone who lives in LA, like that's my dream. I should have joined the fucking army.
Or get one of those minefield clearing trucks. Like,
oh fuck yeah!
Like, what was that transformer that was one when he was going down the interstate and just like throwing cars off the interstate with the mine clearing thing on the front?
Fuck.
I forgot what that called. That thing is. I forgot what that thing is named.
Yeah,
I think it was. I think it was Bone Crusher.
Bone Crusher was the name of the transformer. I'm talking about the actual truck. I mean, there's an actual
the actual
truck
vehicle. Like yeah. With the chains in the front, right? And they just
it has. Around. That's what it. Yeah. Well, no, they have an actual truck like that. It's a military vehicle, and it's used to clear mines from roads. Like it shoots out this big arm that hits the ground, and it blows up all of the mines in front of it.
It looks like a fucking tank with like spider legs or some shit, right?
Hang on, I'm gonna Google it. God damn it, making me Google in the middle of a show. How dare you?
You did this. I'm not sure what it's called, but I think it's because there's the one with the fucking chains that just spin around. There's another one that looks like a fucking tractor. It's not an MCV. AMCV is the one with a bunch of wheels in front and it just runs the fucking shit over. It doesn't care. Fuck.
MCV.
I don't see a picture of it. I just seen one.
Well, they're all considered MCVs. That just stands for mine clearing vehicle.
I'm looking for it.
I am looking for it too now because now you got me all fucked up that I can't remember.
They got some gnarly vehicles though. There it is. It's
called
it's on military.com. It's called let's see. Buffalo Mine Protected Route Clearer.
Oh, that's a fucking baby looking one. I don't know if I'd be comfortable driving that bitch.
That was Bone Crusher in the Transformers movie.
That was Bone Crusher. See, I told you. But fucking, I don't know if I would want to drive that one. That one looks like a fucking, like a basic armored vehicle. The other ones look like tanks. I'd rather drive the tank one with the fucking spinning fucking chains and you just spin them into the fucking dirt and blow whatever's up.
You know, I'm still stuck on the idea that we.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm still stuck on the idea that we definitely, for our anniversary, for the CrayolaSec anniversary, we needed to buy like a Humvee from a military auction and all sorts of, and a battleship and all those things.
Oh, we're definitely getting a battleship.
I'm a pass on the. Well, I mean, y'all can buy the battleship, but I'm definitely getting a Humvee.
Justin, I got a question. So, are we putting that? Yeah. Are we putting the battleship at the coast of Long Beach, or are we doing it? Are we putting the battleship at near Scott's place in Walker, Louisiana?
No, we're putting it near right behind the I-95 at Justin Davis's Boat Emporium because I'm gonna blow that shit up, bro.
Yes.
We're gonna illegally install cannons and just blow that fucking Boat Emporium up.
That's right. I tell you what you do with that damn old what you do with that damn old battleship is bring it on down to Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium right here off I-95 next door to the Buc-ee's. And I won't even charge you that much to park it. You just park it right there in the front yard. Wait, does it need water? Wait, boats need water, don't they? Oh, shit. Now I done screwed all this up now. God damn it. Now I got to dig a hole in my backyard.
Well, at least you don't got to pay for parking. Parking in the water will still cost you $20, so. You want to park on land with a battleship? It's going to cost you. It'll run you about 150. Could you imagine how fucking awesome would that be? Well, maintaining that bitch wouldn't be awesome. Like, you'd have to have a lot of fucking money. But just drive. I would follow cruise ships and shit and just like scare the fuck out of people on cruises with my battleship. But I don't have enough friends to maintain a battleship.
Who knows?
Become a pirate. Right. You gotta be.
Well, I'm not gonna rob them. I'm just gonna like scare them.
Become a pirate.
We'll raise a pirate flag a little bit, and then the fucking National Guard will show up.
See that.
And we'll be like, "No, we're just kidding. It's a joke."
Mexican pirate.
I mean,
and we already had Haitian
Mexican pirates.
Mexican pirate. I don't think there was. Was there any Mexican pirate? No, off the Wikipedia I go.
Yeah, I'm going too.
He's looking up Mexican pirates.
I love this show because it always makes me Google some shit. Like, there's a lot of them. Oh,
I wonder if they dress like Spanish conquistadors on boats.
No, this is fucking Google tricked me. These are just Spanish pirates. Like, there was a lot of Spanish pirates for sure.
Oh,
but Mexican pirates, that's a whole other story.
There isn't no Mexican pirates. They're right next to America. They ain't got to cross nothing but the Rio Grande. I need a battleship for that shit.
I'll tell you
what.
Well,
I mean, I don't.
You could park that pirate ship right here at Justin Davis's boat condo Emporium off of I-95 next door to the Buc-ee's. And for $29.95 a night, you can park that pirate ship right there up my ex-wife's. Never mind. We're going to leave that alone.
Oh, shit. So there was. His name was Freeman Mundaka, who operated a contraband empire from the island of Isla Mujeres off the coast of Quintana Roo during the mid-1800s.
Do you really have
Quintana
to go with
Quintana Roo is fucking gorgeous. Like, that is exactly where I would go if I was a pirate.
Okay, so who knows who Michael Flynn is?
Who?
Michael Flynn. Harsh, do you know who Michael Flynn is?
Talking about the one who was in Trump's administration, General Michael Flynn?
Yes.
The dude with the one eye, or he had an eye patch on?
No.
Yeah, the lieutenant general.
Well, did he have an eye patch?
No, he didn't have an eye patch.
No, he didn't have
fucking around.
No, there was
I mean,
one.
He'd look cooler if he did.
No. There was one that was high up there in Trump's administration that had an eye patch, and I don't remember what his name was.
I don't remember that. But Michael Flynn, yeah, he was lieutenant general.
Well, his Reawaken Roadshow is recruiting an army of God. Batavia, New York. By the time the red, white, and blue colored microphone had been switched off, the crowd of 3,000 had listened to hours of invective and grievance. "We're under warfare," one speaker told them. Another said she would take a bullet for my nation, while another third insisted, "They hate you because they hate Jesus." Attendees were told that now is the time to put on the whole armor of God. Then retired 3-star Army General Michael Flynn, the tour's biggest draw, invited people to be baptized. Scores of people walk. All right, I can't even read the rest. I can't read this with a straight face. I'm sorry.
So he's trying to build an army, or he's just baptized?
I have no idea what this man is attempting to do.
As a lieutenant general, I think you might take it as like an actual military force, but then again, they created the fucking Space Force, which is the biggest joke out of all the fucking branches.
What the fuck did they do?
Actually, if I'm not gonna sit there and deny that the Space Force should exist, because I don't think it should. But the Space Force was actually created during the Reagan administration.
The Space Force show on Netflix is absolutely unbelievable, and it's hilarious. I think everyone should watch it twice.
Right. Okay.
There's a show on Netflix about it?
Yeah, it's called Space Force.
But is it actually about the Space Force? Or it's like a documentary, or is it like a show?
It's a show.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I think the Space Force itself as a real thing is fucking hilarious.
Right. Well, like I said, it's a real thing that might be fucking hilarious. That was created under the Reagan administration, not under the.
Yeah, but it was called Star Wars at that time. Which actually
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
I'm talking
No,
about the
but
real
it-
Space Force, not the movie, but yeah.
no.
but it never
That's
actually.
that's what it was
no.
actually called, Star Wars.
Yeah, it was called
Yeah.
Star Wars.
It
They
really
were gonna
was.
battle
It
the
honestly
Klingons
was.
and win
Okay,
interstellar
all right,
domination.
I gotta get. Where is Max when you need him? He had those documents somewhere.
But yeah, Space Force is like the fucking biggest joke out of all the military branches. It's a bunch of skinny fucking kids like me that know how to use computers and shit, and they're supposed to fight aliens, supposedly. Like, I
You
don't
know
fucking think
how
so.
you use computer.
I know how to use computer so good. I give to you the best computer experience you ever have in your life. Do you hear the typing? You hear that? That's what I do to my wife every night. I give her the egg roll special every night. I'm sorry.
That's my computer keyboard with my keyboard.
I finger bang her the way I type 170 word per minute.
Jesus.
I swear this show gets better the fucking longer it goes. Like when we start, it gets a little rocky, but we fucking always pull together at the end.
Yeah.
Even though Scott's falling asleep.
Yeah, you're boring me. Sorry.
You need to wake the fuck up. You need to eat the tiger penis. Give you strength for days. You will sleep never again. You stay up for every day. God.
Space Force. And now coming from Space Force.
Hmm.
Oh my god.
I kind of want to
What
join
gets
it
me
just
is-
to fucking see.
Yeah, okay, do that, but go live.
I don't know if they'll let me go live because
No,
they're
they
all, like,
might
top
shoot him
secret
if he
and
does
shit.
that.
Exactly.
Well, let's see. Let's see if we could play this as a show angle and try to get like a representative from the Space Force on the phone one day.
They'll probably.
I
I
think it would
don't
be-
know. I mean,
Wonder
we
how
got
their
basic
boot camp
training.
I
would
want to
go.
ask them questions
Oh, I've
about
seen
Area
it.
51.
I've
You know,
seen
like,
it. Their
is there-
boot camp is bullshit.
What do they
What
do
are they-
there?
Yeah, what are they doing?
Like
They
keyboard
fucking
drills?
sit
Everything
around.
is underwater stimulation and shit.
I don't know. I don't know what they actually do. They wait for aliens to come invade. I have no idea.
Wait,
That would be the
there's
Men
no
in Black.
fucking
That's
training.
not the Space Force. That's the Men in
Oh
Black.
man, if it was like the Men in Black, I would join that shit in a heartbeat. That looked fun. Except 90%
Wait,
of
but
the
you said
people
you
that.
know how this shit was going. What they're not going through any kind of training.
Oh no, absolutely. They go through basic, but it's like it's not on par with any other branch. It's not as hard as any other branch. It's like easy level. Like let's say the military is a video game and you picked like very easy. Space Force is very easy.
Very easy. Space Force is the easy mode of the military.
I mean, I might be wrong. I've never fucking been. I've just seen the videos, so who knows?
Is
But
it-
like
is that
I've seen the
Is that a
army, and I've
setting?
seen the
Is that a
Marines fucking
setting for like
train.
the Sims? A setting for like the Sims easy mode Space Force?
No, fucking The Sims is just like fucking stress mode and anxiety mode because you worry about these fucking people because they don't take care of themselves.
Well, that would be.
They're just like
make it even
pissing
more
in the
fun for
kitchen
me.
and like they're like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, well, fucking there's a bathroom I just bought you. I just refurnished that bitch. You have like the most expensive fucking toilet. I bought you the most expensive fridge. I
Why are
made you
you
order
getting
pizza.
so angry at your Sims?
I don't play. That's why I don't play that fucking game. That's what I'm telling you. It's an anxiety stress simulator. I fucking hate that game.
I played that shit like once in 2000.
Okay, so we know that
12,
Justin, even though
and
he
that
has a
shit
clean
died.
life, Justin has a clean life, but he also abuses his Sims. So there's a
Oh,
dark
yeah, no.
secret behind everyone.
Best believe I drowned them all in their own fucking pool. I removed their fucking the ladder to climb out, and they couldn't figure out how to climb out, so they all drowned.
Oh, that's genocide in a sense. You killed electronic
No, it
people.
was like four people. That's not genocide.
You killed innocent electronic people. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I am a saint. You're correct.
No,
You
not
guys
a
remember
saint.
those things, Gigapress?
Fuck that. I will never own a Tamagotchi either. Fuck that. That
That
gave me
was fucking
fucking.
crazy, dude. Like you had to fucking make sure they were
That was such a fucked up thing for kids to have. It's like you're teaching them how to parent when they're like fucking like 9 or 8. Like that shit would stress me out because I'd fucking be like, oh shit, I forgot to feed this fucking thing. And I go and check this motherfucker's looking all sad and crying and shit and dying on me with like really pixelated graphics. But back then, like that's all we
Yeah, back then it was like the best graphics.
Yeah. Now it's like you could fucking
like, what the fuck?
bro, like now I'm like you saw that Call of Duty fucking mission where you can just shoot a bunch of people in the airport. I had no problem mowing them down. Did not give a fuck. I cared more about this pixel fucking creature in my pocket and felt bad about not feeding it than shooting these people in the airport.
Justin Del Toro is the type of person that kills Tamagotchis on purpose.
No, I would never do that. I was never own one again.
Sees the little egg with the LCD screen on it, and just like
that's so hard.
No, I played just y'all ever played Kane and Lynch? It's like a bank robbery game. The second one they add like civilians that you can shoot. I shot all the fucking civilians. I didn't give a fuck if I lost points. I need help.
And this just in, do not select Justin Del Toro.
Shoot in elementary school.
Just do not select this. And this is a public service announcement on behalf of the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality and CSHR Radio. Do not hire Justin Del Toro as a protective source in the event of a national meltdown. He will shoot you.
Yeah. I'll shoot everybody. Like, fuck it. It's free for all now.
Yeah. Yeah. PSA from the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality. If there is, if we do go deal with the apocalypse or the collapse of our government, make sure you stay the fuck away from Justin Del Toro because he will shoot you.
I played this game where it was like a zombie apocalypse.
I'll be
thing, right?
like, no, the world will end tomorrow, and I'm gonna be busy trying to figure out how to start a live. It's just,
and I'm just here trying to figure out how to end as many as possible.
Hey, this is great. Trying to call Harsh on a non-existent cell phone signal and be like, "Hey, bro, this would be an awesome show. Let's see if we can go live this afternoon. The world just ended."
Oh, I thought you said start a live. I thought you said start a life. And that's why I said I'm out there trying to kill as many people as possible because I'm not going to go into further detail. But yeah, I played this game once and I just sat up on a mountaintop with a fucking saw. Not, the squad auto fucking weapon. And,
okay.
Basically it's just a big ass machine gun and just sat up there for hours waiting for people to walk by. It's like,
well, guys, we're
there was like
1 hour and 53-minute mark.
Holy fuck, has it gone that long?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty good. Well, I sat up there and waited for people to walk by just to shoot them. There was like 60 people playing at the time. And I shot about 5. Sat there for about 2 hours. Not really.
Jeez.
I wasted my life, honestly, but it was worth it just to shoot those 4 people and ruin their fucking night, to be honest. Just hours in a ghillie suit with a fucking machine gun. Anyway, what do y'all want to do?
At the end of the time, some more people will get together and try to make some lives.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll have the same kind of viewers.
Yeah,
that we
that's
have
probably
now.
what a whole bunch be doing. Like, I also go out with being happy and with a bang.
Okay.
Well,
unfortunately, zombies won't be a thing. Because I feel like that would be kind of fun.
The CDC actually has a protocol for a zombie apocalypse.
That's awesome.
So ridiculous.
Well, they got to fucking put that money somewhere to budget that shit and be like, yeah, I'm going to buy a really expensive car, but this is actually for the zombie apocalypse, okay?
Well, I mean, first of all, if there was such a thing as a zombie apocalypse, you'd have to make sure you weren't in any like glass buildings or anything. And pine is like the wood that kills zombies. But back to like more important things.
What? What the fuck? What?
Who the hell said pine killed zombies? I want to know that.
Well, pine or like any sort of wood is going to kill zombies.
What do you feed
Anything
into
to the head will kill a zombie.
Harsh is out here like, that's the power of pine saw, baby.
Right. Well, there's
no Harsh. What do you mean, right? No, you're wrong. What the fuck? Zombies?
No, like, you want to stay away from like any like any like skyscrapers or whatever because they have all windows and the zombies are gonna come through the windows and stuff.
Okay, so in other words, if we have a zombie apocalypse, stock up on wicker chairs, and you could just like use them, and you'll never get attacked by zombies.
As a barrier, yeah.
And just get a bunch of explosives. No, anyway, but
or you could always be like people in Oklahoma and get a stack of pallets.
Right, of course. But actually, the concept of zombies came from old African literature back in the day, or like old African folklore from way back when. That's how like the stories and tales of zombies, of the zombie of zombies came in the first place.
They really believe that shit too. They still believe that out there, that there's actual zombies. It's just people that are all fucked up in the head.
Well, I mean, to be fair, some of these NPCs are starting to remind me of zombies, but you know.
Oh, well, yes. I mean, you got the slumpers and shit at the 7-Eleven when you go in there to fucking buy a Red Bull and like they need one.
It's like
I feel like I should buy them one, but they're asleep, you know?
I mean, they're just terrible.
I have to go behind the register and fucking, check myself out, put the fucking money in the register, do the whole thing, give me myself the receipt and walk out. And no, we don't have it that bad.
That's absolutely right, Veronica Jean. You are 100% correct. You have to decapitate them. You need a machete.
Yeah.
So,
but even if you behead them, they can still bite you with their head because they're still going to be momentarily alive long enough to do that.
Yeah,
no,
but I mean,
they don't die. The head doesn't die. It's a zombie. It's already dead.
No, but I mean,
like, destroy the head.
Not functional.
Well, if they're actually
Lori, yes, this is towards the end of the show, and I am sorry for this right now. She's saying, "Oh Lord." I don't know if it's because of the background music or because of what we're talking about.
Because it's October.
Probably.
No, it's October.
One of my favorite movies, zombie related, was probably 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, because it's still bullshit. But at least they based it on the rabies virus, which would technically cause someone to act like a zombie if they would survive it.
Those zombies
not to that level though.
Scary because it's an insta turn and they run. They're
those motherfuckers run.
Yeah, they're not walkers like this bullshit. What is that? What's that show with that zombie show?
Oh my god,
The Walking Dead.
You're not gonna believe this shit.
Yeah.
What?
I was just going online typing how to survive a zombie apocalypse, and I ran into some medical device and diagnostic industry website, and they have an article about how to survive a zombie apocalypse and what the ZDC wants to pack in your zombie apocalypse.
I can't wait to hear this.
All right, well, before you do that, I will tell you, because fuck the CDC, they're wrong. All you have to do is play Joe's music, and nobody will fuck with you. Not even zombies. Not even the devil himself. Nobody will show up. They'll be like, "Nope, I'm good." Sorry, Harsh. Go ahead.
Are we sure Joe's not a zombie at this point?
I mean, he's kind of sings like he has a fucking lobotomy and makes music like he has a lobotomy, but who knows? The only way to kill the fucking music is to decapitate it.
What
the hell was that?
This
I'm getting shot at because I'm hanging out with Jason and calling myself a crip. Thanks, Jason.
Okay. How to survive a zombie apocalypse. Safest places to be and what the CDC wants you to pack in your zombie apocalypse kit by Amanda Peterson, October 25th, 2021. Maybe it's because Halloween is upon us, or maybe because I've been binge watching The Walking Dead or World Beyond, but lately I've had zombies on the brain. Several years ago, a team of Cornell researchers used statistical mechanics and techniques using modern disease modeling and critical phenomena to explore a zombie outbreak, how a zombie outbreak might spread across the continental United States. These researchers presented their work to the American Physical Society in 2015, and you can even play around with their interactive model. I'll send the link so you guys can do that. Running simulations based on adjustable parameters, such as the kill-to-bite ratio and the estimated time it might take for a zombie to walk 1 mile. The idea of a deadly disease that not only kills its host, but turns those hosts into deadly vectors for the disease is scary enough to fuel an entire genre of horror story and film, the study authors wrote in their introduction. But at its root, the zombieism is just that, a fictional disease. It should be amenable to the same kind of analysis studies that more traditional diseases have long benefited from. According to researchers calculate, most of the United States would have been infested by zombies in 4 weeks. However, simulations show that even after 4 months, remote areas of Montana and Nevada would be free of zombies. Below is a screenshot of the interactive mapping tool found here, showing what a hypothetical outbreak of zombies might look like in the continental United States several months into the outbreak. So your best bet is to likely...
California would get infected.
So your best bet is to head toward one of those 2 states or hunker down somewhere in the Rocky Mountains. Or if you're in Canada, this guide offers a bit of the best and the worst place for surviving an outbreak of zombies in Canada based on the population density, number of renewable energy sources, number of buildings with basements, number of hospitals, number of military bases, number of hunting gear shops, etc. Here's what you need for a zombie apocalypse. Back in 2011, the CDC launched a tongue-in-cheek campaign to engage with public health emergency preparedness, but it proved to be quite effective. The CDC notes on its zombie preparedness website that it continues to reach a wide variety of audiences on all hazards prepared via zombie preparedness. The website includes a blog and lesson plan for educated graphic novel. Below are a few things the CDC recommends putting in your energy kit: water, food, medications, tools, supplies, sanitation, hygiene, clothing, bedding, important documents, and first aid supplies. All right, this is stupid. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's stupid as hell.
I thought it was going to be more interesting.
CDC told you in a zombie apocalypse, walk to Canada.
I don't think walking is a good idea.
Well, nobody said that they have to be walkers or whatever. That's just kind of how they've always been portrayed in movies, and only it's very rare that movies portray them as runners
or drivers.
No, they don't drive.
Well, in
those are like
dead. They drive.
Well, yeah, that was kind of silly. I think if you're so fucking like they're decaying human beings basically with a virus or whatever. I don't know. Every movie's different, but like I would say that the 28
Did
days
you just
later,
say every movie is different?
No, I mean every zombie movie is different. Shut up.
Every zombie attack movie is different. Okay,
but every
I'm
zombie
an expert.
movie has
I'm an expert when it comes to zombie attacks, and I have all these movies to go by, and every movie is different.
I mean,
so
I mean, like the realism about most of these movies, it's just I don't know. There's no medical research or there's nothing like that, and like none of them actually get it right. But like I said, 28 days, 28 weeks, having these people run and they're not actually deceased. It's just a virus, but they act like zombies. That's a little more realistic to me that they got like this rabies virus from an animal or something. And
they're virus that gives you a really strong case of the munchies.
Well, not necessarily want to eat you, but they're just so. But they're hungry and they can't. What are they going to do? Like they even said in the movie, like they're never going to learn how to cook bread. They're never going to learn how to do anything. They're going to starve to death one day, and we'll be fine again. Which is true.
Learn how to.
At least in that movie.
So the zombies are going to die out because they don't know how to cook bread. All right, perfect.
Or bake bread. Sorry, I wouldn't.
Okay, so they don't know how to bake bread. That's even better. All right, perfect. So we don't have to worry about zombies because they'll starve to death because they can't make bread.
Depending on what.
I'm waiting for a zombie to die out. So if it happens, you can find me at the liquor store.
The first place I'm going during the zombie apocalypse is the fucking liquor store because fuck it. I'll be so drunk I won't give a shit. I'll be like, oh, you want to eat me? That's cute. Post it on Facebook.
Zombies would be like, cut.
That'll be
I just want. No, I'm not. Could you
and
imagine
on that
the zombies? They're just like, get on Cold Grove. They don't even want to eat you. They just run up to you and are like, get on Cold Grove until you fucking.
Can you imagine a clan of zombies just online telling everyone to get on call?
We already have that. It's called Pig Wars.
Get on call.
All right, that's enough. That's enough. Just that.
Well, with that being said, we're at the 2 hour and 5 minute mark.
Dracula and his son. The scene was rocking all the
I want to see a zombie dance to that song.
All right, anyway, you have been watching the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality, a production of CSHR Radio, and I can't talk anymore now, thanks a lot, and Pelican Media Limited. We want to thank our panel, as usual, Harsh Med, of course, my partner in crime, Jason Coffin, Hart Honer, the word magician himself, Scott Jr., who is MIA as usual, M. Jane MX, who I think fell asleep again on the middle of the call. And
yeah, especially during when we were talking about pedogate and law enforcement. Like, that isn't that the topic she should be speaking about? I'm like, that's weird.
I don't even think she's around her phone now. And of
I
course,
called my
as
FBI
always,
contact and got rid of her.
our resident
And I can't wake up, bro.
and our resident.
That was zombie right there.
Okay.
Try.
And our resident Mexican pirate, Mr. Justin Del Toro.
Beep, beep, I'm a G.
Into my graveyard you'll catch on in a flash.
Anyway,
You can monster
copyright 2022, all rights reserved, through Pelican Media. Kiss my ass. Y'all have a great weekend.
Don't do that. Don't kiss his ass. No. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Life is harsh. Everyone wants to live it.
And be a crib.
Okay. Come on, button work for a change. Thank you.